The top 8 Monaco Masters and their wins in Principality. Monaco Grand Prix has been held since 1929. That year was the only time it wasn't held, due to the Great Depression of the era and the resultant lack of public interest in spending money on motorsports. The most wins by a driver were achieved by Michael Schumacher from Germany, who took a total of 11 victories from 1996 to 2006, while driving with Ferrari 1996 to 2000, and with Scuderia Ferrari 2001 to 2006. He achieved one more victory in 2010 with Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team, which was his final race with Mercedes before retiring in 2012. 1. Stirling Moss. The legendary British racing driver is also a 2-time winner of the Grand Prix of Monaco, collecting his first victory at the 1955 Grand Prix, driving a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR. Moss won his second Monaco race 24 years later, in 1979, when he drove a Lotus 79. Moss is widely considered to be one of the greatest Formula One drivers in history. He placed third or better in 15 races between 1951 and 1961. He won multiple championship titles for constructors, with Van Wall, Aston Martin, and Lotus during that time. Moss's talent was never limited to just Formula One. He competed in sports car races as well as rallies throughout his career. His success has been credited by many to his relaxed attitude behind the wheel, which helped him remain calm under pressure. In addition to winning twice at Monaco, Moss also finished second 3 times, 1955, 1956, and 1958. 2. Jackie Stewart. His greatest victory was undoubtedly in 1971, when he won an F1 championship clinching race with just 1 point to spare. After that season ended, he decided to retire, but could not resist another shot at the pinnacle of motorsport. The 1973 Monaco Grand Prix was as thrilling as a final as anyone could wish for. Jackie Stewart had 7 points to Jean-Pierre Bautuise's 4, with only last weekend's race remaining. Further back, Ronnie Peterson moved into 3rd place, ahead of Clay Regazzoni and Tyrrell teammate Francois Cavert next. 3. Lewis Hamilton. A great achievement for British racer driver Lewis Hamilton at Monte Carlo, because he won 3 Monaco Grand Prix since 2007 till now. Also, Hamilton had claimed his greatest victory at 2008, when he became world champion. His starts at qualification is a key to win so often here. 3 times he qualifies P3 and 2 times P4 here. Besides that, his McLaren Mercedes has a quick machine, so it allows him to sprint from behind as well. While Lewis faced bitter experience during practice sessions before 2016, after last year's first turn collision against Sebastian Vettel, who ran into Valtteri Bottas's Mercedes, but not Hamilton's, let him finish 17th at 2017's race. Things went better for Team Mercedes from then on. 4. Nico Rosberg. The greatest race of Nico Rosberg's Formula One career is a Formula One race that will be remembered for a long time. The German ended his 2016 campaign on a high by winning his first race since joining Mercedes, taking victory at Monaco Grand Prix. It was also one of Rosberg's greatest victories in his career, as he managed to recover from a mistake with 4 laps remaining to win ahead of Red Bull's Daniel Ricciardo. You can say it was one of those Monaco wins 3. It was that kind of day. 5. Alain Prost. Alain Prost, also known as Le Professeur, is a legend in motorsport racing. He competed in Formula One from 1980 to 1993. He won 4 world championships, 1985, 1986, 1989, and 93, all driving for McLaren Honda. He also holds 2 of F1's highest single-season scores, 51 points in 1988 and 90 points in 1985. In his first 3 years with McLaren, 1980 to 1982, he earned 24 wins from 57 races, with 6 first places. Although he didn't win the championship title during those 3 years, driving for McLaren, It was due to his ability to extract more out of the race car than anyone else could manage at that time. 6. Graham Hill. When he won at Monte Carlo in 1965, Hill drove a Ford GT40. Unfortunately for him though, he had been having trouble with his engine throughout practice. He eventually ended up with an even bigger problem, a smoking engine failure just a few laps into the race. Rather than retire and let his teammates take over, however, Hill and his crew decided to change engines mid-race. This is back when mechanical problems of that sort were unheard of. It took them more than an hour to get it done, but Hill managed to finish 7th. Can you imagine that? He took on all comers from behind after losing one of his engines. That's a legendary victory right there, and one of any real Formula One fan would love. 7. Michael Schumacher. The German won 5 times at Santé Devote, his most successful location on the Grand Prix weekend. As for the Monte Carlo itself, there are 2 things which stick in my mind, Schumacher said. My first win with Ferrari in 1996 was something very special, but I would say that probably my greatest victory here was in 1997, when we beat Williams to take both world championships. The record books state that Schumacher has had 21 GP wins at Monte Carlo, but he thinks his success around Formula One's most glorious race venue actually runs deeper. I always got good results here, even when I didn't win, he added. There are not a lot of places where you can say that. Schumacher's most memorable win is arguably his most impressive as well, the 1997 Grand Prix of Europe, where he started from 2nd on the grid and trailed teammate Jacques Villeneuve through much of the race after making an earlier pit stop to change tires. Schumacher eventually caught up with Villeneuve with just 2 laps remaining, then took over the lead after Villeneuve made a mistake under braking for Santé Devote corner. He crossed the finish line 0.014 seconds ahead of Villeneuve to take one of his 8 wins at Monaco. 8. Ayrton Senna. In 1992, Ayrton Senna became one of only 6 drivers to have won both Formula One World Championship in his career. He not only achieved something which has only been matched by 3 other drivers in F1 history, but his victory at Monaco that year was arguably his greatest feat behind the wheel of a racing car. Having struggled with back problems during qualifying, Senna switched to an older chassis for race day and went on to take pole position. From there, he led every lap of the race on his way to the 4th career victory of Monaco ahead of teammate Alain Prost, who finished 2nd. This triumph made him the first driver since Graham Hill in 1972 to win 2 races at Monte Carlo within 1 year.